Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Dear Eva Inspiring Solutions. Welcome to Live Talk or Live Quiz B. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Ayan, dito muna tayo. Napailawan ko lang itong ilaw, ilaw, ilaw. Sandali. Saan na ba yung ilaw? Medyo madilim kasi. Kaya ay! Ano ba yan? Naapakan ko. Okay. Ayan, dito muna tayo. Mega kwentuhan today. Hello, hello everyone. Kwentuhan tayo. Dali, may kukunin lang ako. Hi, hi, hi. Hi everyone. I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here everyone. So, aray ko. Oh. So, dito tayo. Mega kwentuhan tayo today. Oh, ayan. Magkwentuhan tayo today. And then dito sa I'm still cooking actually. I'm cooking for my food. Yeah, I have special food for my thyroid, my cholesterol. I'm still sick. So, but life has to go on. Life has to continue. I'm here. Okay, here it is, everyone. Dito tayo sa oh, ayan na. Dito tayo. Okay. Okay. Or pwede rin. Sandali. Paano ba to? Oh, ganyan na lang. Uy, ganyan. Ganyan. Okay. Yes, everyone. Hello. I'm here. Inayos pa. Sandali. Paano ba to? Yes, here, everyone. I'm here. Lala. Ayan na. Ayan na po. Ay, baka mahulog. Dali, paano ba ito ipatong? Dali. Okay. So, here. Here I am. Ayan. It's, yes, Saturday. Saturday na. Dito sa Netherlands. Saturday. And then, hello po sa nandyan. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. I'm actually cooking for my dinner, for my thyroid, for my cholesterol. I'm still sick. I'm sorry, guys. While I'm cooking, I'm doing this live streaming. But if you have a message, a question, please type a comment, type a message, please. And I'll be back later with the camera. I'm sorry, I'm still cooking. Okay. Oh, ayan, ganito muna. Ang hirap ng may sakit. Hinihingal ako. Hi, everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Dear Eva Inspiring Solutions. Welcome to Live Talk. Ayan, may kakwentuhan tayo. Tapos, I'm still cooking actually. Hi. Cooking. Yes. Cooking. It's good. Hi, hello. Melvin Boss. Hello, Melvin. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome, Melvin. Welcome. Okay. Here. It's a family photo. My family photo. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I'm actually cooking right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still cooking, but I'll be back later with the camera. Okay, Melvin Basa and hi, Reza Fubo. Hello to you. Melvin Basa, how are you? I'm fine. Hi, Stefan. Good night. Yes, good night. Yeah, I remember your sleeping time is now. Okay, see you again, Stefan. And super thank you for dropping by. It's a big thing. Thank you so much, Stefan Maker. Thank you, everyone. And while I'm cooking for my special food for my thyroid, for my cholesterol, so I'm doing this live stream. It's weekend. Oh yeah. Yes, it's weekend. Yes. Wow, Saturday again. It's nice to go to the Centrum, or it's hard for me to go to the Centrum because of my sleeping problem. Yeah, it's hard to be sick. It's so hard to be sick. Yeah. Okay, please type a message. Yes, it's weekend. Have a great weekend, Stefan Maker. Have a great weekend ahead. And I'll be back later, guys. I'll be back. Okay, what can I say? I'm so shy because I know you spend time for my live stream. And I'm still cooking for my special food for my disease. Yeah, for my sickness. I think I can share. Thank you, you too. Welcome, Stefan. Weltrusta, yeah, Weltrusta, Stefan. Thank you so much, Stefan. Thank you. Doei, doei, doei. What should I do here? Okay, I might as well show something on TV. Wait. Wow. Super bedankt iedereen. Super, thank you everyone. Super, super. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's me when I was young. Wait, wait, wait. Digat Valle. Okay. Here. Yeah, it's my wedding photo here. Wedding photo. Ooh. Okay. Now, hi. Please type a message. Thank you so much, everyone. I know time is gold. You spend time to support my live stream. It's a big thing. I'm so thankful. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate. Wait, let me show you something here on TV. Okay, so maybe I can show something on TV. Yeah. What's wrong with the TV? It doesn't turn on. Hala, kaput. It's kaput. It's broken. Alexa, what time is it? The time is 12:06 a.m. Alexa, volume 3. Alexa, what time is it now in Philippines? In Philippines, it's 7:07 a.m. Oh, Alexa, say something. Hi. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. And wait, let me show here something. Alexa, what time is it now in New York? In New York, it's 6:07 p.m. Oh, Alexa, what time is it now in Greenland? In Greenland, it's 9:07 p.m. Oh, yeah. 7:09 p.m. Alexa, what time is it now in Australia? Australia has multiple time zones. Okay. In Sydney, it is 10:07 a.m. Okay. All right. Alexa, what should I find here? Okay. What time is it now in New Zealand? Okay. Um, Alexa, what is something about Stoic philosophy? The 2025 Stoic philosophy at Starbucks in person was on Friday, March 7th. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, let me change the question. Alexa, do you have a boyfriend? I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. Alexa can. Alexa, why don't you have a boyfriend? I just think of everyone as friends. Oh, everyone is your friend. Alexa, are you an Amazon robot radio from Amazon? Alexa. Okay, here it is. Nice. Okay. I don't have an answer for that. Alexa, who is Machiavelli? According to Wikipedia, Zeno di Machiavelli was an Italian painter and illuminator. Machiavelli specialized in religious-themed pieces. Some of his works reside at the National Gallery, London, and the Dunedin Public Art Gallery. Okay. Now I found here. This is amazing. Alexa, Who is Nicola?
I didn't catch that. Please say that again.
Alexa, who is Machiavelli?
According to Wikipedia, Zeno di Machiavelli was an Italian painter and illuminator. Machiavelli specialized in religious-themed pieces. Some of his works
Alexa,
resemble the
stop.
national...
And without rising, he cannot alter his appearance. He becomes locked in the prison of perception. This is why poverty is not merely an economic condition, but a sentence handed down by society's gaze. It is not hunger alone that destroys him, but the way others treat.
Oh, Alexa, what is Machiavellian wisdom?
I'm not quite sure how to help you there.
Hi guys, thank you so much. Just hi to you. Just planned for you. Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome everyone. I'm sorry guys, I'm very sorry. I'm still cooking for my thyroid. I have a special food for my sickness, thyroid, cholesterol, sugar, and many. Yeah, I have many sickness, but life has to go on. Okay, I would like to show you this inspiring, yes, very inspiring Machiavellian wisdom. I think everyone will be inspired to see this because it's very useful information, very useful. And then, okay. Now here it is, Alexa. Alexa, what day is today?
Today is Saturday, the 28th of February.
Oh, Alexa, today is the last day of February.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Oy. Alexa doesn't know. Why? How come you don't know Alexa? My goodness, Alexa. Okay, here it is. Yeah. Okay, let's start. Yeah, Machiavelli.
Have you ever noticed how some men get ignored before they even speak, while others are respected the moment they walk in? Countless men who had everything to offer have been erased, not because they lacked worth, but because of how they appeared. People judge in seconds, and once that judgment is made, it almost never goes away. Machiavelli called this one of the harshest laws of human nature.
Yeah, true.
A rule that rewards fools who look strong and punishes great men who look weak. You've seen it play out your whole life, but you may not have realized what was happening. If you learn to master it, this same rule that destroys most men can become the tool that lifts you above them. It's the line between being ignored and being respected. And once you understand it, you will never see the world the same way again.
Yeah,
A
true.
man who looks poor is already judged guilty before he opens his mouth. In a world ruled by appearances, weakness is a sentence passed instantly and without appeal. When the eye meets a man's figure, when it takes in his clothes,
That's
his
the
posture,
reality of the
his bearing,
society now.
the judgment is made before a single word can redeem him. The beggar is despised not for his hunger, but for what his hunger reveals: impotence, failure, disposability. A man who looks poor is a man marked for trampling. He can possess wisdom, strength, even virtue, but the covering that clothes him will condemn him. In the court of men, perception is law, and the law is merciless. Those who project lack invite scorn. Those who project strength command obedience. To appear poor is to be invisible at best, ridiculed at worst, destroyed when convenient. Consider how merchants treat customers. A man in rags enters a shop, and eyes turn away. Service becomes sluggish, the offers diminish, the tone sharpens.
True, that's true.
Another man enters, clean, composed, adorned with signs of wealth, and suddenly every hand is eager to serve, every word is honeyed. The goods have not changed. The coins in their purses may weigh the same, but the appearance decides the respect they command. In the palace of power, this law is even sharper. A man who dresses below his station, who fails to signal wealth, who neglects the armor of appearances, will find doors closed, allies scarce, and enemies bold. His poverty brands him as prey. Power respects the image, not the truth. Truth is too slow to persuade. Image strikes instantly, before the mind can resist. And so a man who looks poor dies politically before he even begins to live. History is littered with men who could not master this law. Think of the forgotten advisor whose counsel was sound, yet whose shabby garments caused princes to dismiss him. Think of the scholar whose brilliance was buried beneath ridicule because he lacked the polish of wealth. They were not defeated by their ideas, but by their failure to dress them in power. Meanwhile, lesser men, adorned in splendor, were hailed as geniuses, applauded as leaders, entrusted with authority. The crowd, like cattle, follows the banner, not the truth. Appear poor, and your wisdom will rot unheard. Appear rich, and your lies will be taken as scripture. This is the brutal geometry of perception. It is better to fake greatness than to show naked poverty. To walk the world without the mask of wealth is to invite humiliation. Imagine the man in the market whose shoes are cracked, whose jacket is thin, whose posture bends with shame. He passes and the crowd sees not a man, but a warning.
My
This is
goodness,
what
yeah, that's
failure
the
looks like.
reality nowadays.
Whispers every eye. He
Yeah,
becomes
I'm
an
sorry
example
guys,
to
I'm
frighten
still
others.
cooking. I'll be
But
back
imagine
later.
another
I will
man,
be back.
no richer in coin, yet
Thank
shrouded
you.
in
Thank you
blue
so much,
attire,
everyone. Thank
upright,
you.
his gaze steady. The world bends differently around him. Traders lower their prices. Women soften their voices. Guards part ways. Both men may share the same poverty, but one has disguised it, and in disguise he has power. Men do not obey the facts. They obey the symbols. Appearances enslave them more than reality ever could. You must understand that poverty is not simply the absence of wealth, it is the presence of weakness. And weakness is blood in the water. To display it openly is to beg the wolves to feast. The man who looks poor invites betrayal, insult, dismissal, robbery. His voice carries no weight, his warnings are ignored, his ambitions are mocked. But the man who cloaks his poverty, who wears the armor of wealth, even when hollow, terrifies predators into hesitation. They see the sign of strength and mistake it for reality. They restrain their bite. Power is perception first, substance second. It is enough to look formidable until you can become formidable. Those who fail to master this die before their chance arrives. Even in matters of survival, appearance decides fate. A general whose troops march ragged into the field already signals defeat. His enemies see weakness, his allies doubt his strength, and his soldiers feel shame. Victory begins with spectacle, the shine of armor, the discipline of formation, the banners held high. These are not empty shows. They are weapons sharper than steel, for they strike the mind before the body. A man is already conquered when he believes he faces a superior force. So too in life. Look poor, and others will assume you are conquered already. They will treat you as vanquished. They will strip what little you have left without guilt, for weakness excuses all cruelty. Do not imagine that humility will save you. Do not believe that modesty will be rewarded. These are lies told by the powerful to keep the weak docile. The world admires wealth, despises poverty, and pretends this is virtue. The priest may praise humility in his sermons, but even he bows deeper to the rich man in his congregation. The ruler may speak of equality, but he dines only with those whose garments shine. The scholar may write of the nobility of poverty, but he dreams of the velvet chair in the palace. Men worship appearances because appearances govern their fears and desires. To look poor is to be treated as poor. To look powerful is to be treated as powerful, even if beneath the cloak you tremble with hunger. Remember this, reputation is armor. It is not enough to be strong, you must look strong. It is not enough to be clever, you must look clever. Men judge not by truth, but by what their eyes can seize in an instant. They cannot read your heart, but they can read your shoes. They cannot see your mind, but they can see your clothes. They cannot weigh your courage, but they can weigh your posture. And they decide your fate on this evidence alone. To neglect this law is suicide. To master it is survival. Every prince, every ruler, every merchant, every soldier knows it. Only the fool ignores it. Only the poor man despises it, and in despising it remains poor. If you wish to rise, you must cloak yourself. Cloak your weakness in symbols of strength. Cloak your poverty in signs of wealth. Cloak your doubt in gestures of certainty. The world is blind to essence. It worships masks. Give it a mask of power, and it will kneel before you. Give it the naked truth of your poverty, and it will spit on you. A man who looks poor is already conquered, already forgotten, already erased. And yet, in this truth lies your first weapon. For if appearance decides all, then appearance can be mastered. But mastery requires sacrifice, and sacrifice requires cunning. For to cloak yourself in strength while hollow demands calculation beyond the reach of the average man, would you dare attempt it? Would you dare carry the mask until the mask becomes your face? Then understand this. Men do not forgive weakness once they have seen it. The moment you display the image of poverty, the shame clings to you like rock. Even if fortune later raises you, even if riches flow into your hands, they will always remain the memory of your earlier wretchedness. Men will whisper, he was once nothing, and that whisper will erode respect like water breaking stone. The powerful are not judged only by what they are today, but by what they have always appeared to be. A prince born poor but hiding it skillfully may be admired as mysterious. A prince who shows his poverty openly will forever be haunted by it, no matter how high he climbs. The lesson is simple. Never let them see you fall beneath the dignity of wealth. Better to starve in silence than to let them watch you eat scraps. In every street, in every gathering, you can see the law at work. Watch how a crowd parts for the man dressed in elegance, while it closes upon the ragged as though they were diseased. Observe how silence falls when the adorned one speaks, while the poor man's words vanish like smoke in the wind. This is not merely vanity. This is survival. For men associate the image of wealth with capability, with resources, with danger, and they associate the image of poverty with impotence, with lack, with safety to exploit. He who looks rich is approached with caution. He who looks poor is attacked without fear. To be underestimated is not a blessing, it is a slow death. For the underestimated man is stripped of allies, ignored in councils, dismissed in courts. Even his enemies waste no time destroying him, for he is not worth the effort. He is allowed to decay in obscurity. That is the most certain death of all. Consider how rulers use splendor, not for comfort, but for command. Thrones of gold, palaces of marble, armies draped in bright colors. These are not luxuries. They are instruments of terror and respect. The palace itself is a weapon, for its magnificence convinces subjects that their ruler is divine, untouchable, ordained. If a prince were to dress simply, to walk without guards, to eat like a commoner, the people might love him, but they would never fear him. And without fear, his throne would be fragile. Thus rulers invest fortunes in spectacle, for spectacle is the strongest fortress. Learn from this, even in private life, the trappings of wealth shield you like armor. To discard them is to step naked into a battlefield. You may argue that honesty is noble, but to display your poverty is to live truthfully. The truth is a weak currency in the marketplace of power. The honest beggar dies forgotten, while the deceiver floats in riches becomes master of men. Do you think merchants truly weigh honesty when they lend coin? They weigh appearance. Do you think soldiers follow honesty into battle? They follow the shining standard, the promise of plunder, the sight of grandeur. Do you think a woman chooses honesty in love? She chooses the symbol of strength, the man who looks as though he can provide. Everywhere, in every matter of life, appearance commands while truth begs. To cling to honesty without mastery of appearances is not virtue. It is suicide disguised as morality. Understand also the cruelty of memory. When a man first meets you, he remembers the image you show him, not the words you speak. That image, once etched, governs every judgment thereafter. If the first impression is one of wealth, he will forgive later failings, for he will cling to that noble picture. If the first impression is one of poverty, no later success will fully erase it. You will always carry the scent of lack. Men trust what they saw first, and they rarely abandon it. Therefore, the first time you step into any room, you must appear more powerful than you are. Do not wait until you have wealth to look wealthy. Do not wait until you have power to look powerful. Pretend until you possess, and once you possess, never let them see you without it. Even the arts of religion and politics are soaked in this law. Priests drape themselves in robes, not because God demands silk, but because men respect silk more than holiness. Judges sit in elevated chairs, not because justice requires height, but because men bow more easily to those who look taller. Politicians speak from balconies, not because words fly farther from stone, but because men believe those above them must be important. The mask is everything. The ceremony is everything. The theater is everything. The people are blinded by vision and deaf to substance. And so the man who appears poor in such a theater is not seen as humble. He is seen as unworthy of the stage. His voice cannot reach beyond the curtain of his appearance. This is why you must fear not only poverty itself, but the look of poverty. To lack coin is dangerous. but to look as though you lack it is fatal. Many men climb from poverty to greatness by disguising themselves, by creating the illusion of fortune long before they possess it. They borrow garments, they polish their speech, they master gestures, they dine with those above them until the world forgets they ever came from below. And once the world forgets, they are safe. But those who parade their rags, those who let the world know they are poor, are condemned forever to kneel. For the world rarely allows a man to rise from the image he first chose. And if that image is poverty, then poverty will be his prison, no matter how far he climbs. The lesson is merciless, but truth always is. You must never look poor, even if you are, because the eye of man is swifter than his reason. And once it has judged you, you cannot escape its verdict. The man who looks rich, even when empty, is feared and respected. The man who looks poor, even when full of wisdom, is despised and ignored. This law binds rulers and beggars alike. You may break every other rule and survive, but break this one, and you are already destroyed. And the destruction does not come with thunder or flame. It comes quietly, in doors that never open, in allies that never appear, in voices that never listen. It comes in silence, in emptiness, in being forgotten, and there is no slower, colder death than that. And so you must understand the danger of letting yourself be seen in want, for men exploit not only your weakness, but their memory of it. Once you are known as poor, every gesture you make afterward is colored by suspicion. If you rise, they whisper that you rose by luck, by deceit, by some unnatural trick. They will not attribute your success to talent or effort, but to fortune's accident, and so they will deny you honor. Poverty stains the man even when wealth later clothes him. The crowd does not forget, and because it does not forget, it does not forgive. To escape poverty is difficult, but to escape the reputation of poverty is almost impossible. That is why prevention is better than cure. It is better to cloak your poverty at the start than to attempt to erase it once revealed. Observe how the cunning survive. They may not own much, but they invest in appearances as if appearances were gold itself. The coat is polished though borrowed, the shoes are clean though worn, the words are firm though the stomach is empty. By the time others discover the truth, it is too late. The image has already done its work. Respect was gained, doors were opened, trust was given. This is the art of survival. He who fails to practice it becomes the naked man among wolves. The wolves do not pity him, they tear him apart. The cunning man, even when hungry, feeds on the illusions he casts, and through those illusions he buys time to make them real. Illusion first, reality second. This is the only order that power obeys. Do not believe that honesty about your condition will inspire sympathy. Men may show pity, but pity is contempt disguised. They give alms to the beggar not to honor him, but to rid themselves of his shameful sight. They lower a coin as if throwing it to an animal, hoping it will disappear from their view. This is not respect. This is dismissal. He who relies on pity enslaves himself to those who despise him. To be pitied is worse than to be ignored. It makes you an object, not a man. Better to be feared, better to be envied, better even to be hated than to be pitied. For fear, envy, and hatred acknowledge power, while pity acknowledges only failure. To appear poor is to beg for pity, and to beg for pity is to carve your own chains. The stage of the world is cruel, and every man must play a role. You cannot choose to be unseen, for the eye of others is always upon you. Since you cannot escape their gaze, you must control it. Do not let them see you as you are. Let them see you as you must be. If you are poor, clothe yourself in symbols of strength. If you are weak, speak as though you command. If you are uncertain, move as though every step was planned. Men are too lazy to look beyond the surface. They believe what they see. Show them confidence. They believe in your power. Show them finery. They believe in your wealth. Show them despair. They believe in your defeat. The stage is not optional. To refuse to play is to lose before the game begins. Even the smallest details betray you or protect you. The way you stand, the way you shake a hand, the way your voice rises or falters, these are signals stronger than words. The poor man slouches, his voice is hesitant, his eyes dart. The world sees these signals and decides instantly, unworthy, unsafe, unfit. The same man, if he straightens his back, steadies his voice, hardens his eyes, may fool the crowd into believing he is a lord, and if they believe it long enough, the world will rearrange itself to fit the lie, for perception shapes reality more than reality shapes perception. Those who command appearances command destiny. Those who neglect appearances are enslaved by them. Consider the enemy who watches you. He does not strike when you are strong. He strikes when you look weak. If your garments are torn, if your carriage is unkempt, if your tone trembles, he sees his moment. He advances not because you are truly powerless, but because you appear powerless. Appearance invites aggression more than truth does. Nations are invaded not always because they are weak, but because they look weak. Merchants are cheated not because they lack coin, but because they look desperate. Husbands are betrayed not because they are unlovable, but because they look diminished. All betrayals are fed by the sight of vulnerability. To look poor is to walk with your back exposed, inviting the knife. This is why a man must learn to live as an actor, hiding his hunger behind a mask, hiding his desperation behind ceremony. It is not falsehood, it is survival. The world does not reward the naked truth, it rewards the clothed illusion. A farmer in his field may labor honestly, but he will be treated as dirt until he dresses as a master. A thinker may uncover wisdom, but he will be silenced until he speaks as though he owns a throne. A soldier may have courage, but he will be overlooked until his armor gleams. The mask must precede the man, and once the mask is worn long enough, it fuses with the face. Then the illusion is no longer illusion, it becomes reality. But the man who refuses the mask remains forever outside the theater, howling to an audience that will never listen. And here lies the cruelest paradox. Poverty itself is a challenge, but the appearance of poverty is a death sentence. One can recover from lack of coin, one cannot recover from the contempt it breeds. That is why you must fight not only against hunger, but against the sight of hunger, not only against weakness, but against the display of weakness. You must fight to cloak yourself at all times in strength, even if that strength is a shadow, for men obey shadows as if they were substance, and he who fails to master shadows will never command substance. To escape this fate, you must learn the alchemy of perception, the art of turning nothing into something by sheer force of image. A man with empty pockets who walks with certainty commands more respect than a man with gold who trembles. The crowd sees not into your chest but into your gestures, and from gestures it builds its truth. If you smile at the right moment, if your silence is timed with precision, if your clothing whispers wealth even when it is borrowed, men will swear you possess hidden power. They will invent strength for you, and in their invention you will inherit it. Power begins as an echo. Make the world echo your superiority, and soon it will become real. But allow the world to echo your weakness, and that weakness will bury you long before the grave does. Understand that wealth is never merely possession of coin, it is possession of symbols. The crown itself is only metal, yet when placed on a head, it terrifies armies. The robe is only fabric, yet when draped on shoulders, it silences courts. The palace is only stone, yet when gilded, it commands the loyalty of nations. In the same way, the poor man who acquires even the smallest symbol can transform perception. A single ring, a polished pair of boots, a voice that does not waver. These are not trinkets, they are weapons. They force others to recalibrate their judgment, to hesitate before dismissing you, to wonder if they underestimated your power. Hesitation is all you need, for in hesitation lies the opportunity to strike. Once they hesitate, you are no longer prey. You have entered the realm of predator. The wise man knows he must never appear desperate. Desperation leaks from the eyes, from the mouth, from the fingers that twitch too eagerly, and men smell it, as wolves smell blood. The desperate man is offered loans at crushing terms, promises that will never be kept, favors that are chains in disguise. He is courted only to be consumed. But the man who conceals his desperation, who looks composed while flames burn behind his eyes, disarms the wolves. They retreat, uncertain whether their teeth will find flesh or steel. To mask your poverty is to mask your desperation. To mask your desperation is to force respect, and respect is the soil in which opportunity grows. Without it, you are trampled. With it, you may one day command. Look at the rise of cunning princes who began with nothing but learned to stage their fortune. They attended feasts dressed finer than their means allowed, borrowing garments, borrowing words, borrowing dignity until the world accepted the illusion. And once the illusion was accepted, real power followed, for men invest in those they already believe in. No merchant lends coin to a beggar. who looks poor, but many lend to a beggar who looks like a prince. No army follows a general who looks broken, but they follow one who looks already victorious. Deception of appearance is not betrayal, it is strategy. It is the seed from which reality blossoms. But those who refuse to deceive, who cling to their nakedness, die with their integrity intact and their names forgotten. The cruelest truth is that the world despises weakness, yet forces men into weakness daily. The majority toil, the majority hunger, the majority live in scarcity, yet they hide it as though it were a crime, because indeed it is treated as one. And so life itself becomes a theatre where every actor must perform wealth, strength, certainty. Some perform poorly and are jeered. Some perform well and are applauded. But the stage allows no absence. To step on it without costume is to be ridiculed until silence becomes your only refuge. If life is a stage, then to look poor is to appear unclothed before the mob. And the mob does not forgive nakedness, it devours it. To survive, you must costume yourself. To rule, you must dazzle them until they forget there was ever a costume at all. Do not mistake this as an invitation to vanity. Vanity is weakness disguised as pride. What I teach you is calculation. Every coin you spend on appearance is a weapon bought. Every hour you devote to posture and bearing is a fortress built. Vanity seeks applause. Strategy seeks survival. Vanity wastes wealth on ornaments. Strategy invests wealth in signals of power. The vain man wants to be admired. The cunning man wants to be obeyed. The vain man looks rich only to satisfy his reflection. The cunning man looks rich to bend the will of others. One is self-indulgence, the other is war. And life is war. Every street, every marketplace, every council hall is a battlefield of perception. On this battlefield, the man who looks poor has already lost before the first blow is struck. You must therefore discipline yourself never to be careless with appearances. A wrinkle in your clothing can be a crack in your armor. A tremor in your voice can be the opening your enemies need. A gesture of hesitation can invite the strike that kills you. Men do not forgive these things. They do not say, he was only tired, he was only distracted, he was only poor. They say, he is weak, and weakness, once named, cannot be untied from you. It becomes your brand, burned into your skin by the gaze of others. They see it once, and they see it forever. Guard yourself as you would guard your throne, for every glance at you is a judgment, and every judgment is either a step toward power or a step toward ruin. The decision rests not in their eyes, but in the image you present to them. And yet many will tell you that substance matters more than surface, that true character will shine through despite humble clothes, that honesty and effort are enough to secure a man's place. This is the language of fools, taught to children so they remain obedient, whispered to the poor so they stay content, preached from pulpits so the weak do not revolt. But observe the world with cold eyes, and you will see that the rich are honored even when they are corrupt, that the powerful are celebrated even when they are cruel, and that the poor are scorned even when they are virtuous. Men judge with their eyes long before their minds, and once their eyes condemn you, no act of nobility will redeem you. It is not justice that rules human affairs, it is perception, and perception is blind to the truth, but sharp to the mask. This is why rulers cloak themselves in ritual. A coronation is not about governance, but about spectacle. Incense rises, bells ring, robes shimmer, not because these things create wisdom in the prince, but because they create obedience in the people. They see grandeur, they bow, they see finery, they submit. The man beneath the robe may be a coward, but the robe itself transforms him into something feared. If a king were to walk into his court dressed as a beggar, even if his power remained, his grip would falter. The same men who once trembled before him would now laugh in his face. The crown would still sit on his head, but it would have lost its power. Power is not in the object, but in the image of the object. Lose the image, and you lose the obedience it commands. Even in private dealings, this law holds. A merchant who arrives at the table looking poor will be offered crumbs, even if his chest is full of gold. The buyer assumes weakness, and weakness invites insult. Another merchant, though his purse is lighter, enters adorned and poised, and suddenly he is courted. His words are valued, his requests are met, contracts are signed, not because his arguments are better, but because his image was stronger. In negotiation, truth sits in silence, while appearance speaks loudly. You must never forget this. To look poor in business is to bleed profit before the first word is spoken. The man who masters appearances has already won half the battle before ink touches the page. Think also of how armies march. A commander knows the strength of his men lies not only in their swords, but in their show. Flags are raised high, drums thunder, armor gleams in the sun. Even a tired, underfed army can terrify the enemy if it looks unbreakable, and even a strong, well-trained force can collapse if it looks ragged and hopeless. The battle is decided first in the mind, and the mind judges by appearances. Soldiers fight harder when they believe they are led by strength. Citizens obey longer when they believe their ruler possesses endless resources. Enemies hesitate when they believe their opponent is untouchable. If you look poor, every enemy will advance upon you without fear. If you look rich, they will hesitate, and in hesitation lies your survival. There is also the matter of allies. A man who looks poor will find his circle filled with vultures who offer aid only to extract more from him. They will lend him small sums, not out of kindness, but to bind him in chains of debt. They will flatter him, not because they respect him, but because they see him as pliable. And when the time comes to choose between him and a rival who looks wealthy, they will abandon him instantly, for loyalty in this world is a transaction, and men prefer to invest where they believe profit lies. If you look poor, you are already bankrupt in their eyes, no matter the truth of your worth. But if you look rich, even when your coffers are empty, they will fight to remain near you, hoping to feed on your promise. Allies are not won with honesty, they are purchased with appearance. The same cruelty governs love. A man who looks poor may be praised for his heart, but he will rarely be
Thank you.
chosen.
Thank you so much,
Women seek
everyone. Thank you.
security,
See you all
and
again.
security
God
is
bless us
first seen
all.
in symbols of strength.